On today's show, it's bowl previews and picks part 3. We're going over the bowls from December 24th through December 30th, and we got 16 of them to discuss. Welcome in. It's Winning Cures Everything, a college football podcast. I'm your host, Gary Seegers, at GaryWCE on all the different socials, most active on X, obviously. If you'd like to get in touch with me the old school way, you can do that, Gary at winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and subscribe to the podcast. Going to have some audio-only stuff going on over there throughout the bowl season, throughout the off-season as well. So going to be a lot of things that we're 8 years into this, I think it is. Started in 2016. The YouTube channel started in 2018. So yeah, we've been at this quite a while, pretty long time. But subscribe to the pod because I'm going to be doing audio only. You can also be a member, of course. Buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. Going to have some bonus content up over there. More stats and whatnot going up over there very, very soon. So make sure and check that out. Let's not waste time. We're going to kind of go through these pretty quick because we got 16 bowl games to discuss tonight. Again, December 24th through December 30th. I am recording this on Monday, December the 15th, because my schedule is about to get crazy, and I want to be able to hit all of these games. So, let's not waste time. Let's get to it. Wednesday, December 24th, we have got the Hawaii Bowl with Cal against Hawaii. So, yes, a home game for the Warriors here. And in the return of Nick Rolovich, former Hawaii coach, has been out of college football for a little while, but he was a senior offensive analyst for the Cal Bears this year, took over as the head coach when they fired Justin Wilcox just a couple weeks ago, got a win over SMU in the finale. This one, 7 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone on ESPN. That's right, on Christmas Eve. Right now, Cal favored by 1.5 to 2.5, depending on the book. Total of 54.5 on this one. And let's go ahead and go through some of the numbers, which you can see on the screen. My stats, projected spread, if everybody's healthy, all that kind of stuff, would have Hawaii by 3.5 points. The last 4 weeks would actually have Cal favored by maybe about 6.5. Power rating actually has Hawaii favored by almost 2 points. Now, Cal does have some potential opt-outs. Hezekiah Massis, that is the cornerback, and the linebacker, Cade Uluave. Hope I got that right. Jaron Kiawe. I froze up there, didn't I? How about JKS? Jaron Kiawe Songapolatelli. I hope I got that right. I've tried to say that name right all year. Either way, looks like he's probably going to play. He's coming back for new head coach Tosh Lapoy. I think he's going to play in this game. Is what it is. Cal does have some injuries. The right guard, let's see, Varakani, the tight end Mini, the wide receivers King and Hamper, safety Crosby has been out for a while. The outside linebacker, McCullough, defensive back Cam Sidney. Those guys, who knows who is going to play out of that group. As I brought up, Justin Wilcox was fired at the end of the year. Okay, Hawaii transfer portal. Hawaii's got some guys that are going to be out. The wide receiver Jackson Harris, he's got 963 yards receiving and 12 touchdowns. He is in the transfer portal. Not sure if that means he's not going to play, but we shall see. Hawaii does have injuries as well. The linebacker Otis, cornerback Edwards II, wide receiver Kinnacle, however you say it. So it doesn't look like it's going to be crazy. If anybody's got the worst of it, it looks like it's probably going to be Cal dealing with some of these injuries and whatnot. I'm kind of surprised that Cal is favored here because Hawaii is outrageous at home. They're like 11-1 against the spread at home on the island. Hawaii, as far as bowl games go, 1-0 in bowl games since 2020 against the spread, and Cal is 0-2 against the spread in bowl games since 2020. They are minus 12.3. Now you're not dealing with Justin Wilcox. You got Nick Rolovich. Probably a different team. Rolo was going to stay on staff with Tosh Lapoy. We'll see exactly what that means. I think he's going to be the quarterback's coach, so he's going to stay with JKS. Let's start with Hawaii on offense. This is the number 70 PPA margin team in the country. That's predicted points added margin. Cal is number 92. So Cal's offense, number 104. We know that the quarterback is really good, but overall efficiency, they have not been great by any stretch of the imagination. Hawaii is number 30 in passing success rate. They're number 4 in pass rate. They throw the ball over 61% of the time. Cal's defense is number 27 against the pass, so they're pretty good there. Hawaii, not very good at running it. Cal, not very good at stopping it. So you've got strength on strength here when Hawaii's got the football. On the other side, Cal is not good at running the football. Hawaii is good at defending it. Cal is not great throwing it. They are number 40 in passing success rate, but they're number 76 in yards per attempt, number 75 in QBR, and number 85 in predicted points added per pass. Hawaii is number 60 in PPA allowed per pass, number 53 in QBR allowed, number 46 in passing success rate allowed. So Hawaii actually a little bit better against the pass than Cal is at actually passing the ball. As far as running it, like I said, Cal, number 134 in PPA per rush, number 136 in yards per rush. They are just not good, not efficient running the football. Hawaii on offense, number 76 in points per scoring opportunity. Cal's defense is number 62, but there is a huge difference in scoring opportunities per game. That's when the opponent gets a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. Hawaii, number 71 in scoring opportunities per game, so 6 drives per game that they get inside the 40. Cal's defense is number 126, so they allow quite a few. They're 5.58 is what they allow. We'll see what that ends up looking like. Cal is number 68 in points per scoring opportunity, number 101 in scoring opportunities per game. The Hawaii defense, number 47 in scoring opportunities allowed, number 39 in points per scoring opportunity. So the Hawaii defense actually pretty good. You look at raw 5 factors rank, Hawaii is number 65, Cal is number 89. There is a huge talent difference here. Cal number 55, Hawaii number 129, but Hawaii has played above their head basically all season. Look at their offensive position groups are not good, at least from a talent standpoint, and yet they have played outstanding all year, especially on the island. So I look at this, and Cal is favored by 2.5. Yeah, 1.5 to 2.5. I've got Hawaii favored in 2 of my metrics. I'm gonna go with that. So give me the Rainbow Warriors plus 2.5 at home. The GameAbove Sports Bowl, the day after Christmas, of course, Central Michigan and Northwestern. It's Friday, December 26th, noon Central Time on ESPN. And interesting spot here. Central Michigan is a 10.5-point dog. This thing was out at 12.5. So it has come down quite a bit. Total is 43.5 on this. It's in Detroit, Michigan. So Central Michigan, not as far of a drive as Northwestern, but regardless, it is what it is. PPA margin, Central Michigan number 53. Their defense is really good. Northwestern number 89, but the strength of schedule difference between these two is pretty massive. Central Michigan number 101, Northwestern number 31. Looking at portal and opt-outs and injuries and all that, Central Michigan, the defensive end, Heldman, is a potential opt-out. Transfer portal, the defensive lineman, Cade Costas, only played 103 snaps. He is in the portal. He could still play. We'll see. And as far as injuries go for Central Michigan, the quarterback, Angel Flores, he was a backup. He has not played since week 9. So not a ton there. For Northwestern, potential opt-outs, the left tackle, Tiernan, defensive end, Saka. Both of those guys are potential opt-outs. As far as Northwestern injuries, the running back, Caleb Komalafe, he missed the finale. The running back, Joseph Hyman, left the finale with an injury. The wide receiver, Drew Wagner, he last played in week 12. Cornerback Davis, defensive end, Aiden Hubbard, and the defensive end, Haggerty. All of those guys are hurt, but David Braun said he's confident in Komalafe and Hyman being back. Those are the 2 running backs. He's unsure about the status of Hubbard. We'll see what that means. Who knows? But overall talent, still a huge factor here because Northwestern is number 60, Central Michigan number 127. Looking at pace of play, Northwestern is number 131, Central Michigan number 134. The Central Michigan defense is probably the best unit on the field here. They're number 34 in PPA allowed per drive, number 51 in defensive success allowed. Northwestern number 58 in offensive success allowed, or not allowed, just in offensive success. They're number 118 in defensive success allowed. Slow, plodding game. Central Michigan is, they run the ball over 65% of the time, almost 66% of the time. They're pretty good throwing it. Number 16 in PPA per pass. They're number 111 in passing success rate, but that's because they're number 31 in passing explosiveness. Northwestern is number 89 in passing explosiveness allowed. And Northwestern not good at defending the run, number 123 in rushing success allowed. Well, Central Michigan runs it a lot. Their head coach is the former Army offensive line coach, Matt Drinkle. David Braun there's something about the culture of this bunch. You look at the bowl spread records, and Northwestern is 2-0 since 2020, plus 13 points. They always play harder in bowl games for whatever reason. But Central Michigan 1-0 against the spread in bowl games, plus 8.5. If I'm not mistaken, the only bowl that they've been in since 2020 is, I want to say the Sun Bowl, where they beat Washington State. Might be wrong about that. We'll see. Either way, Northwestern better as far as penalties per game. Central Michigan way better as far as turnover margin. Special teams efficiency, Northwestern massive edge, number 15 to number 87. As far as finishing drives, Northwestern on offense, number 119 in points per scoring opportunity. Central Michigan's defense, number 21. On the other side, you've got Central Michigan, number 78 in points per scoring opportunity. Northwestern at number 46. I was a little shocked at this number. Like I said, Northwestern favored by 10.5. It was at 12.5 this time last week. My power rating has Northwestern by 8. My projected stat spread has Northwestern by 7.69. Nice. And the last 4 weeks actually has Northwestern by just 1.5. So you look at all those numbers, all of them are under that 10.5. I wish this thing was still 11. I would like that key number there. But even at 10.5, I still feel like Central Michigan is going to muck this thing up. It'll come down to the wire. I think even if Northwestern does win, I imagine it will be by less than 10.5 points. Maybe a 31-21. That's maybe too many points. Because we've got a total here of 43.5. That's down from 44.5. So you're maybe looking at 24-14. 27-17 kind of thing, somewhere around there. I feel good about this. I will take Central Michigan plus the 10.5. The Rate Bowl on Friday, December 26th. This one is at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone, of course, on ESPN. New Mexico taking on Minnesota. Of course, new coach Jason Eck led New Mexico to a 9-win season. Minnesota 7-5. Again, PJ Fleck just continues to do the thing. 3-1 against the spread in bowl games since 2020. They are plus 3. New Mexico has not made a bowl since 2020. Broncos, big bad boys, got close last year. But now Jason Eck, 9-3 straight up, 7-5 against the spread. Minnesota has not been covering very much this year, but they also have not been very good this year at all. 97 in PPA margin. New Mexico is 52nd in PPA margin. They are pretty good on defense, pretty good on offense. Minnesota worse on offense than they are on defense, but even the defense has not been great by any stretch. But the strength of schedule difference between these two is just massive. New Mexico 89th in strength of schedule. Minnesota is 36th. So, let's see. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Where is that thing? Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not going to say it's home field for New Mexico, but I think they're a little more comfortable in that weather than Minnesota would be. Of course, it is the wintertime, so it may not make a difference at all. Okay, let's dive into this. My projected stat spread has Minnesota by 3.13. Power rating has Minnesota by 3.4. Last 4 weeks has Minnesota by 6. And Minnesota right now is favored by 2.5 with a total of 46.5 to 47.5. So that total is coming down just a little bit. And if you look at these two teams, it kind of makes sense. Minnesota not efficient on offense at all. They are number 98 in points per game. New Mexico is number 68 in offensive points per game, but they are number 107 in pace of play. Minnesota number 122 in pace of play as well. Let's start with Minnesota on offense. They throw it a lot, almost 54% of the time, but they're not good at it. They're number 116 in yards per attempt, number 89 in PPA per pass, number 88 in QBR, number 94 in passing success rate. New Mexico is 70, 80, 98, and 62nd in those. So a little bit better, but not much. There's also a massive talent discrepancy here. We'll talk about that in just a minute. New Mexico is really good against the run. I don't know if Darius Taylor's going to play in this. We'll talk about some of the injuries and potential opt-outs, all that kind of stuff here in just a minute. But we'll see. We'll see what this Minnesota offense looks like. New Mexico, I would imagine, going to be pretty fired up for this because they have not made a bowl in a very long time. Special teams efficiency, New Mexico is number 16. Minnesota is outside the top 120. Overall talent, Minnesota is top 50. New Mexico is outside the top 115. So, let's look at the injuries here. New Mexico got quite the list. The ones that it looks like are going to play, the guard, Richard Pierce, safety, Drew Speech, defensive tackle, Xavier Slayton. Those guys all missed the last 2 weeks. The wide receiver, Michael Buckley, and the cornerback, Abraham Williams, both of those were hurt way back, I believe in October. But the first three there are probably going to have a decent shot to suit up here. New Mexico, potential opt-outs, defensive end, Keyshawn James Newby. We'll see. He might be opting out to transfer. We'll see what that means. Minnesota, in the transfer portal, you've got the running back, too, Ejeboy. I did not say that right, but Minnesota fans, you jump in here and tell me exactly how you're supposed to say that. He had 495 yards rushing thus far this year. As far as potential opt-outs, Darius Taylor has been injured off and on for years at this point, so he could opt out. Defensive tackle Eastern, defensive end Anthony Smith, both of those guys could opt out. As far as injuries, the three guys that missed the finale were the cornerback Brian, right guard Marshall, and the linebacker Matt Kingsbury. All of those guys missed the final. Maybe they just decided to play youth at the end of the season. Who knows? Very curious about what that's going to mean. New Mexico on offense runs some really weird stuff. You have to be super prepared for it. And Minnesota has had plenty of time to study film and figure out exactly what it is that New Mexico runs. The question is, do they care? With PJ Fleck teams, they always care. Minnesota is 6-0 straight up in bowl games under PJ Fleck. They take bowl games seriously. Like I said, 3-1 against the spread in the 4 bowls since 2020. So, you look at the 5 factors rank. New Mexico certainly favors higher there, number 49. Minnesota, number 74. But when you look at 5 factors plus talent, New Mexico, 88. And Minnesota, number 45. So there's a massive, massive difference here. I think both teams are going to be motivated. I think both are going to be fired up. I understand everybody wanting to jump on the New Mexico bandwagon. New Mexico, number 124 in giveaways per game. Minnesota is number 66 in takeaways per game, and Minnesota does not turn the ball over. They are number 4 in giveaways per game. Minnesota better in penalties per game. The talent thing is just a little too much for me. I think Minnesota handles this. I think they get it done. New Mexico, they'll give it a fight, but this thing is at 2.5. I'll take the favorite. Give me Minnesota minus 2.5. The First Responder Bowl in Dallas, Texas. This one is on Friday, December 26th. FIU against UTSA, 7 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. And Good gracious. UTSA favored by 8.5 with a total of 59.5 on this one. Dallas is not too terribly far from UTSA, but how fired up is the fan base going to be for this bowl game? We shall see. We shall see. FIU, really surprising this season, 7-5 straight up. UTSA 6-6. FIU, this is their first bowl game since 2020. UTSA has made 5 bowls since 2020. They are 3-2 against the spread, plus 2.9. And when you look at the projected stats numbers, would have UTSA favored by 8.62. My last 4 weeks would have UTSA only favored by 4.4, and my power rating has UTSA favored by 6.8. Now, when you look at some of this, the potential opt-outs, FIU's stud cornerback Brian Blades II, he could opt out of this game. In the transfer portal, you got another cornerback, Mr. Clark. That's a fun name. He's played 776 snaps. That's wild. FIU injuries, the quarterback Joe Pezensky. He started a few games before the original starter, Keon Jenkins, returned from an injury. We'll see what that means. As far as UTSA, the defensive lineman Otutu, he's in the portal. Don't know if he's going to play or not. Potential opt-outs, the linebacker Shad Banks Jr., he could opt out. And then as far as injuries, the cornerback Meyer, he missed the finale. The outside linebacker Vic Shaw missed the finale. Right guard Daryl Jones got hurt in Week 13. He did not play in the finale. Tight end 3, Dan Dishman, and the free safety Jermarius Lewis, who got hurt in Week 12. That bunch, who knows who's going to end up suiting up out of that, but those are names to pay attention to. Notice that you didn't really see a lot as far as offensive opt-outs for UTSA, and that is a good thing for them because they like to sling it around a little bit. Number 43 in pass rate. They are number 37 in QBR. Number 33 in passing success rate. Well, FIU is pretty good against the pass. Number 39 in passing success allowed. Number 50 in PPA allowed per pass. But they're not good against the run. UTSA is not great against the run, but UTSA is number 48 in rushing explosiveness. FIU is number 134 in rushing explosiveness allowed. That ain't good. UTSA on offense, number 47 in points per scoring opportunity. FIU is number 40. So we're going to see who has the better bunch there when it comes to allowing points in scoring in scoring position, we'll call it. That's when you get a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. That is a scoring opportunity. Overall talent rank, FIU is number 96. UTSA is number 68. Special teams efficiency, UTSA is number 47. FIU is number 97. On the other side, when FIU has the ball, pretty good running it. They're not great throwing it. Number 68 in PPA per pass, number 79 in QBR. But UTSA in those metrics is number 98, number 113 on defense. They're not good at stopping the pass. Luckily for them, FIU is not great at throwing it. So you look at FIU running the football, they are number 59 in rush rate, almost 52% of the time. But they're number 110 in rushing success. UTSA is number 27 in rushing success allowed. Offensive line yards, stuff rate, FIU does not measure up here. We'll see what that looks like. But, yeah, number 41 in PPA per rush, though, and it's because they're pretty explosive. Well, UTSA's defense is number 52 in rushing explosiveness allowed. Points per scoring opportunity. FIU is number 31 at finishing drives. UTSA is number 125. Now, UTSA also is number 24 in scoring opportunities allowed per game, so they don't let you get down there very often. But when you do, you're going to score basically every time. So we'll see what FIU does, how they're able to do this on a down-to-down basis, basically. I look at this, and it was at 9.5, and then it dropped down to 8.5. So there is some FIU love in the market here. But you look at 5 factors, and UTSA is just an overall better team. They are more talented, and I think that they're going to be fired up for this. I know FIU is going to be fired up, but I think UTSA wants to end the season the right way. Jeff Traylor's saying all the right things. I think they're going to be fired up for this, and they are just an overall better football team. So with this thing being at 8.5, it's kind of in no man's land. I'm going to go with the favorite. Give me UTSA minus 8.5.
Are you tired of sore knees or joints slowing you down? Go Sleeves uses built-in kinesiology tape technology to give you support, reduce pain, and help you recover faster. Use code WCE for 15% off over at GoSleeves.com.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you would so kindly, and of course, jump in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all these different bowl games. Give me some information that maybe I'm missing. I would love to hear from all of you on this. So go ahead and jump in there and make sure that you are subscribed. The Go Bowling Military Bowl in Annapolis, Maryland. We got Pitt going up against East Carolina, and this is a fun matchup. I'll go ahead and tell you that. This is a fun game. This one at 10 a.m. Central Time, of course, God's time zone, on ESPN, Saturday, December 27th. There's a lot of bowl games that day. A lot of games, but a fun way to start it off. Pitt favored by 7 to 7.5 with a total of 57.5 on this one. When the spread was created, or when the sheet was created, this thing was Pitt minus 6. ECU has had some coaching changes since then. The defensive coordinator, Josh Aldridge, he left to go to USF. Offensive coordinator, John David Baker, he's headed to Ole Miss. He's going to be the offensive coordinator there. Not sure exactly who is. I know that East Carolina has Hauser that is going to enter the portal. He hasn't yet, because obviously that thing doesn't open until January 2nd. But I don't believe that he's going to sit out this game. It doesn't look like it thus far. We'll see. We'll see what that means. Looking at the numbers, I got a lot of advantages for East Carolina here. I've got Pitt favored by 0.23 points as far as projected stat spread is concerned. I've got a projected total of only 51.5. My power rating has Pitt by 2.5, but my last 4 weeks has Pitt by 9. So Pitt played really well against Georgia Tech. Against Miami and Notre Dame, two should-be playoff teams. One of them is, one of them isn't, but regardless, they just didn't look great. And I am not expecting East Carolina to be able to get after Mason Heinschel the way that Miami did, or Notre Dame for that matter. Now, East Carolina's numbers are going to look pretty good on defense, but even still, East Carolina, for as good as their numbers were, only 8-4 straight up, which is kind of goofy, but still. Pitt is 1-2 against the spread in their last 3 bowls, minus 1.7. East Carolina 2-0, plus 14.5 in their bowl games since 2020. So let's talk about it. When East Carolina is on offense, pretty good throwing the ball. That is the weakness of this Pitt defense. East Carolina 39th in PPA per pass. Pitt defense number 63. East Carolina number 74 in yards per attempt. Number 34 in yards per attempt. Pitt's defense number 59. Passing success rate, East Carolina is number 15. Pitt is number 34. So Pitt is pretty good at this stuff. I mean, they're pretty good at defending the pass, but they're really good at defending the run. Now, East Carolina they do run the ball over 53% of the time, but they're gonna find a brick wall here, basically. Let's talk about some of the potential opt-outs, injuries, all that kind of stuff. Pitt, the running back Desmond Reed, the linebackers Lewis and Biles, and the right tackle Ryan Baer. Those are all potential opt-outs for Pitt here. Along with that, they do have some injuries. Of course, Desmond Reed missed the final 2 games. The defensive tackle Fitzsimmons, he last played in Week 10. The right guard, Ryan Coretta, he didn't play in the last 2 games. And the left guard, Keith Govea, he last played in Week 5. So they've had a replacement for that. East Carolina injuries, the left guard, Panda Askew, didn't play in the finale. And the cornerback, Rashid Reason, he last played in Week 7. And again, we don't know what's up with Hauser. We'll see. I would imagine he plays, but you never know. Big strength of schedule difference between these two. East Carolina number 100, Pitt number 50. As far as finishing drives, East Carolina number 38 in points per scoring opportunity. Pitt is number 116. East Carolina number 14 in scoring opportunities per game. Pitt is number 8 at scoring opportunities allowed per game, so I'm going to guess they're not going to let East Carolina down there a lot, but we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. When Pitt is on offense, they're not very good running the football. And it looks like they're probably not going to have Reed here, so it's going to be even more difficult because East Carolina's defense is good against the run. Like, that's just putting it as mildly as possible. They're number 12 in PPA allowed per rush. Pitt is number 84. Yards per rush, ECU number 34 in yards allowed. Pitt is number 117 in yards per rush on offense. They are just, it's easiest way to say this, East Carolina is number 10 in rushing success allowed. Pitt is number 100. Now, on the other side, Pitt throws the ball over 55% of the time. It's part of that Cade Bell offense, is what it is. They are number 71 in passing success rate. East Carolina's defense, number 36. They're number 43 in yards per attempt. East Carolina's number 38. Yeah. In Pitt, number 67 in points per scoring opportunity. East Carolina is number 23. So East Carolina, number 25 in 5 factors rank. Pitt is number 52. But when you toss in talent, because you're looking at number 53 against number 77, all of a sudden that thing flips. And Pitt is number 40, and East Carolina is number 60. Losing the coordinators, how much does that hurt? Head coach is still there. They've got guys that know the system. Should be okay. I wonder about the talent difference. I wonder about the motivation here. And does Hauser play? Kind of sounds like I think he might, but the way that this number is going, it kind of looks like he's not going to. If he doesn't, that's going to be very interesting because East Carolina could easily win this football game. And yet this thing has gotten to a touchdown or more than that. And I think that it's got something to do with Hauser, I would imagine. So we're going to look at this thing as if Hauser is not playing. I would highly recommend that you wait until bowl time to figure out who is actually going to play in this game. Even if Hauser doesn't play, I think the number got too high. I think the number got too high. Let's go East Carolina plus 7.5. Whether Hauser plays or not, I don't think it necessarily matters. I do think that Pitt doesn't always show up in bowl games. Narduzzi, you've seen him in bowl games before. You know what this guy does. What was it? It was 1-2. Yeah, 1-2 against the spread, minus 1.7. East Carolina shows up for him. Yeah, I think East Carolina shows up here, and they make it a game. So I will take the 7.5. Give me the Pirates. Saturday, December 27th, 11 a.m. Central Time on, where are we? ABC. That's right. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. This one in the Bronx in New York. Penn State against Clemson. And I would imagine Penn State will have a significantly bigger fan advantage. But neither of these teams saw this as being their bowl destination. I will certainly say that. Clemson favored by 3.5 with a total of 48.5 on this, and it has not moved in a week. And I don't blame anybody because how in the world could you possibly bet this game when you have no idea? Penn State opt-outs, you've already got the defensive tackle Durant, the safety Wheatley, the left guard Ione. I don't know why I keep saying that wrong. The left guard is opting out. How's that? You do have potential opt-outs. The defensive end denied Dennis Sutton, the running back Katron Allen, the running back Nicholas Singleton, cornerback A.J. Harris, wide receiver Trevor Pena, linebacker Amari Campbell, left tackle Drew Shelton, right tackle Nolan Rucci. They have an interim head coach. The captain of the team, Durant, has already opted out. Drew Aller, of course, out for the year. The linebacker, Tony Rojas, is out for the year. And then your coaching changes, right? You've got Matt Campbell coming in, but you fired James Franklin in the middle of the season. Terry Smith took over as interim. Co-offensive coordinator and tight ends coach Ty Howley, he's been hired as the offensive coordinator at Virginia Tech. You've got a bunch of this staff that is following James Franklin down to Blacksburg. The defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, is headed to Tennessee. Andy Kotelnicki, I have no idea what Kotelnicki's doing. I mean, good gracious. The offensive line coach is going to be Florida's next offensive line coach. Who knows? Who knows? And yet, on the other side, the defensive tackle, Capehart, he has opted out for Clemson. The safety, Khalil Barnes, he is in the transfer portal, so who knows if that means that he's going to play or not. As far as potential opt-outs, Clemson has just as many as Penn State, right? Defensive tackle Peter Woods, defensive end T.J. Parker, the cornerback Avion Terrell, and the wide receiver Antonio Williams. All of those have already declared for the NFL draft. The cornerback Jaden Lucas, defensive end Will Helt, and the left tackle Blake Miller are all potential opt-outs. The quarterback Cade Klubnik, though, has said that he is going to play. We'll see what that means. Clemson, by the way, 7-5. Penn State 6-6. Penn State had to win their last 3 games to get to a bowl game. The head coach Dabo Swinney did say that he's not expecting many opt-outs, but who knows? Clemson is looking to extend its FBS record of consecutive years with a postseason victory to 15. That's a crazy, crazy number. So if you're fighting for something, obviously it seems like Clemson is much more motivated here than Penn State. I don't even know who's left in the football building for Penn State. Clemson does have some injuries. The offensive lineman, Jacobs, he got hurt in Week 12. He's out for the – all of these guys are out for the year, by the way. So Jacobs, the offensive lineman, wide receiver Wesco, the right guard Parks, and the tight end Pat Henry. All those guys out for the rest of the year. The numbers, I don't think are going to matter here. Penn State number 29 in PPA margin. Clemson is number 43. That Penn State defense was just not nearly as good once Rojas went out. Like, just not even close. They're both kind of slow. Clemson number 80 in plays per minute, and Penn State number 102. Penn State, not terrible on offense. They can still run the ball. Now, obviously, it all depends on who the hell plays, right? But number 24 in PPA per rush, they run the ball over 56% of the time. They're number 25 in rushing success rate. So you got a young quarterback. Everybody knows that you're going to run the ball, and they were still able to run it. Now, some of that had to do with the strength of schedule and whatnot, especially down the stretch, but Penn State number 17 in strength of schedule, Clemson number 62. And yet I still am leaning Clemson because I think that they've still got their head coach, they still got their coordinators, they still got their guys, and their quarterback has already said that they're playing or that he's playing. I don't know what Penn State is going to look like. Penn State does have a special teams advantage and a bit of a talent advantage. That's all based on whether or not those players play. So both of these teams, number 20 and number 21 in 5 factors rank. Penn State, you look at their numbers, and it's just shocking to me that they lost 6 games. Like, there's just no – I don't understand it. Number 24 in points per scoring opportunity for Penn State's offense. Number 48 points per scoring opportunity on defense. I think you're more likely to have guys play for Clemson than you are for Penn State. And with that said, even though the numbers all certainly lean Penn State, power rating has Penn State minus 4.5. Projected stat spread has Penn State by 1.5. Last 4 weeks has Clemson minus 2. But again, we're doing this on December 15th, and I'm going to guess that Penn State will have some opt-outs. I don't know that Clemson is going to have a lot. And with that said, I'll take Clemson. Give me the Tigers minus the 3.5. Saturday, December 27th, 1:15 p.m. Central Time, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, and you got Army playing against UConn. And this UConn team is going to look drastically different than what you have seen so far this year. Jim Mora is headed to Colorado State. His offensive coordinator is headed to TCU. The quarterback, Joe Fagnano, is potentially going to opt out. There are reports that say that he's not going to play, and the wide receiver, Skylar Bell, who is Senior Bowl bound, both of them are not going to play here. UConn transfer portal, you got the right guard, Brady Wayburn, and the running back, Cam Edwards, who is saying that he's still going to play, but obviously we'll see. And then, of course, you've got tight end 3, Vereen. He's injured, last played in Week 11. Defensive tackle, Carroll Jackson, last played in Week 12. And the safety, Mills, last played in Week 12 as well. Army looks like they're a bit healthier. They looked good against Navy, even in a loss. We'll see. We'll see what they look like here. But this thing opened as Army a 3-point favorite, and now you've got Army as an 8.5-point favorite with a total of 46.5 to 47.5, depending on which book you get it at. It opened at 50.5 for the total. So, these numbers are not going to matter very much. UConn's offense was number 18 in PPA per play, number 32 in offensive success rate. The Army defense, number 121. They are terrible against the pass. But if Fagnano's not going to play, and the wide receiver, Skylar Bell, is not going to play, and your right guard may not be playing, who knows? But I do find it difficult. The reason that everybody has been on Army, when it was less than a touchdown, it made a whole lot of sense because you know what you're going to get from Army. You know what the motivation is. They show up for every bowl game. 2-1 against the spread in bowls since 2020, plus 2.8. UConn 1-1 against the spread in bowls since 2020, plus 6.8. Both of these teams are fairly motivated. UConn significantly better on special teams. The talent is in UConn's favor, although it's not crazy. The talent's always going to be in the favor of whoever's playing against the service academy. But you know service academies are disciplined, so you know exactly what they're going to look like. But, man, that Army defense, it was just bad this year. Number 103 in PPA per pass. They are number 59 in yards allowed per attempt, number 68 in QBR allowed. But they're number 122 in passing success allowed. Number 121 in havoc. UConn, it doesn't look like they're going to have a ton of opt-outs. But when your quarterback and your wide receiver are gone, I mean, you never know. Never know what that's going to look like. UConn number 4 in turnover margin. Army is number 35. UConn's big thing is they don't throw interceptions. But how do you know when you don't know who the guy is that's going to be playing? Army favored by 8.5 feels like a lot here. I would have had UConn favored if everybody was playing. But obviously there is a difference as far as strength of schedule, etc. But UConn typically would get up for games like this. I think it's too many points. And maybe this is one to bet live. That might be your best route. UConn is terrible against the run, by the way, on defense. It don't matter who plays there. Army's going to be able to run the football on them. Army number 72 in yards per rush. UConn number 91. Rushing success, Army number 83. UConn number 131. But when you get into offensive line yards and stuff rate, Army number 63 in offensive line yards. UConn number 129. Army number 7 in stuff rate allowed. UConn number 136 in stuff rate. So Army's going to be able to run all over them. Can they finish drives? That's another question because they are number 83 in offensive red zone conversion percentage, number 58 in offensive red zone touchdown rate. UConn is number 93 in defensive red zone touchdown rate allowed. I want to take UConn here so bad because this number has gotten outrageous. But one thing that we have learned from bowl season is if you're not motivated and your guys aren't there, it can get ugly quickly. UConn may never touch the football. I mean, let's be honest here. I think Army shows up. We didn't get it at the best number. I'll take the favorite. I don't feel good about it. Oh, I wouldn't bet this game if I were you. But if you feel like you got to have action on it, I would pick Army. Army minus 8.5 on this one. The Pop-Tarts Bowl, the most fun bowl game in all of bowl season in Orlando, Florida. And we got BYU going up against Georgia Tech. This one Saturday, December 27, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone, of course, on ABC. And BYU is a 4.5-point favorite, total of 55.5 to 56.5, so it's sitting right in between the key number there of 56. It's over the key number of 55. This thing opened at 56, opened as BYU a 3-point favorite, and then you start hearing about Buster Faulkner taking the OC position at Florida. The co-offensive coordinator, Chris Winkie, probably going to take over play calling duties for the bowl game. Haynes King and the wide receiver Eric Rivers both are expected to play. You could have the right guard Keelan Rutledge and the running back Jamal Haynes sit out for this one. Those are potential opt-outs. As far as injuries go, the defensive tackle Stone, he last played in Week 13. The edge rusher Andre Fuller, he only played 3 snaps against Georgia. And the defensive back Jai Gilmore, he's out for the season. He last played in Week 13. As far as BYU goes, Bear Bachmeier was hobbled in the Big 12 championship game. He's had weeks to be able to prepare for this one. I would imagine that he plays. Is he fully healthy? There's not been a lot of news on that. Who knows? As far as potential opt-outs, left tackle Jada, the running back LJ Martin, wide receiver Chase Roberts, defensive tackle Keanu Tanuvasa. That does not seem like the kind of program that's going to have a bunch of guys opt out. You can almost bank on them the same way that you can bank on service academies as far as bowl games go, right? BYU in bowl games, 3-1 against the spread in bowls since 2020. They are plus 10.5. Georgia Tech 1-1 plus 4 in bowls since 2020. Both teams, I think, are going to show up here. I think they're certainly going to try, but good gracious. And yeah, there's a talent differential. Georgia Tech number 39, BYU number 72. But BYU is physical. I mean, they are just – there's just something about that bunch. And Georgia Tech supposedly has better lines of scrimmage. But, man, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that's going to play harder than those two. BYU number 23 in PPA margin. Georgia Tech is number 46. Georgia Tech's offense is what made them a good team this year. They are just bad on defense. And if LJ Martin and that bunch plays, it's going to be hard for them to get BYU off the field because BYU number 26 in PPA per rush, Georgia Tech number 74. BYU's offense number 39 in yards per rush, Georgia Tech's defense number 95. Number 33 in rushing success rate for BYU's offense, Georgia Tech number 70. BYU, they don't scare me throwing the ball, but they are better throwing it than Georgia Tech is at defending it. As far as points per scoring opportunity, who can finish drives better? BYU is number 40, Georgia Tech number 57. Georgia Tech does have a huge special teams advantage here, number 6 in special teams efficiency. BYU is number 57. Georgia Tech on offense, I mean, BYU's defense is good. Like, they are really, really good. And Georgia Tech likes to run the ball. BYU, pretty good at stopping it. Number 31 in rushing success allowed. Number 25 in rushing explosiveness allowed. These two teams are pretty even. Georgia Tech, number 76 in points per scoring opportunity, so they have not been good at finishing drives. BYU's defense, number 36. You're looking at number 37 and 38 in raw 5 factors rank. I think that I can count on BYU showing up and playing really hard here. Georgia Tech, it's a little questionable. I'm not totally certain. And when you look at turnover margin, BYU number 21, Georgia Tech number 110, I think you might could even count on BYU winning the turnover battle here. I will go on and tell you, I already bet this thing when it was 3, as soon as it came out. It's at 4.5. I don't like the fact that it's gotten to such a high number, but I will take the favorite. BYU minus 4.5 here. I think they cover, and Georgia Tech, I think, will put up a fight, but you're looking at my projected stat spread has BYU minus 9, power rating BYU minus 6, last 4 weeks BYU minus 13. BYU beat everybody except for Texas Tech. Georgia Tech, not so much. I'll take the Cougars at minus 4.5.
Why struggle doing everything yourself? On Fiverr, you can hire professionals for just about anything. Marketing, editing, design, and more. Save time, get it done right. Click the link in the description to get started.
And if you like the stat spreadsheets that we're showing here on the show, of course, go and check out buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. I got bonus content that goes up over there, random stats. There's a matchup comparison tracker, so hypothetical playoff matchups, etc., if you want to check those out, or who would be favored over who, what the matchups look like, etc., all these different stats that are good for gamblers, but also just curious minds. So go ahead and check that out, buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. The easy way to check it is, of course, bettingcfb.com. And our fifth game on Saturday, December 27th, is Snoop Dogg's Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. I think I got all that stuff in there. Tucson, Arizona is the location. It's on the CW at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, God's time zone. Of course, Miami of Ohio and Fresno State are playing here. Fresno State currently a 4.5-point favorite. Total of 42.5 on this one. And let's sort through the transfer portal, the potential opt-outs, all that kind of mess. And of course, I'm using the Action Network's tool. Stuckey does a fantastic job with this thing, keeping up with all the different guys that might be out, guys that have been injured, etc. I mean, it gives you a full, somebody should do this for the full season. I'll tell you that. Starting wide receiver Cam Perry, he led the nation in yards per catch. He is in the portal for Miami of Ohio. Their starting defensive end, Adam Trick, that's their best defensive player. Their starting cornerback, Yarbrough. Starting right tackle, Drew Terrell. And then you've also got potential opt-outs, both safeties, Blakey and Walters. He put on here, I'd guess they'll play. Yeah, Miami of Ohio, Chuck Martin, that's typically what they do. So even if they're in the portal, they're still probably going to play. Injuries here, you've got the linebacker Hondrew, who missed the final 2 games. The running back, Kenny Tracy. Daquan Finn left the program. He's getting ready for the NFL, I guess. Who knows? Wide receiver Cam Perry. I mentioned him being in the transfer portal, but he also got banged up at the end of the MAC title game. They moved back to the veteran quarterback Henry Hessen in the MAC title game. They were with the freshman quarterback Tommy Gotkowski. We'll see what that means. I mean, who knows? So this is just kind of a hodgepodge. Who knows what Miami of Ohio's roster is going to look like? Fresno State, the safety Jaden Davis is in the portal. And then they've got the potential opt-outs, cornerback Hamilton, defensive lineman Corey Foreman. Those are potential opt-outs. We'll see. Fresno State injuries, of course, the safety Ryan Wilson. He missed the finale. Defensive tackle Owusu last played in Week 10. And the linebacker Thunderbird, fantastic name, last played in Week 7, so he's out. It should be a fun matchup. It's got Fresno by 4.5. My stat sheet has Fresno by 3.63. Power rating has Fresno by 1.1. And my last 4 weeks, I've only got Fresno by 0.78. So, it's an interesting spot. Fresno was favored by 3.5. There has been some action on the Bulldogs here. The MAC typically does not do well in bowl games, although they have done slightly better in recent years. You look at this, and Fresno's offense is not good. Number 111 in PPA per drive. They are number 101 in offensive success rate. They're really bad running the football. Miami's defense is good. Number 31 in PPA allowed per drive. They are number 45 in defensive success rate. They're really good against the run. Not as good against the pass, but still better than what Fresno's going to throw at them. Fresno is number 104 in points per scoring opportunity. Miami of Ohio's defense is number 55. Miami of Ohio, significant advantage on special teams. Miami of Ohio has the talent edge in this matchup, that's not common for a Mountain West versus MAC game, but regardless, Miami of Ohio on offense, the numbers are just kind of all over the place. And Fresno's defense is really good. They're not great against the run, and that's what Miami is going to want to do. They're number 52 in rushing explosiveness. Fresno is number 51 on defense. Miami is number 40 in offensive line yards. Fresno is number 59. It's kind of interesting. Miami is number 88 in points per scoring opportunity. Fresno is number 56 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. Of course, scoring opportunity is when the opponent gets a first down inside the 40-yard line. And so that's when you get a scoring opportunity. So you look at turnover margin, both of them are inside the top 40. You look at penalties per game, Miami is number 48. Fresno is number 86. I don't see a huge difference between these two, and when you start looking at bowl games, Fresno 2-2 against the spread in bowls since 2020. Miami of Ohio always shows up 4-0, plus 11.3 here. I think Miami can hang around in this thing. I know that the quarterback situation is weird. I know that Fresno has played better. I know that, good gracious, the quarterback, E.J. Warner, that's the name I was looking for. I know that he has been the quarterback here and whatnot. Like I just feel like Miami can hang around and probably win the game. So I think that the direction has moved the wrong way here. I'm going to go with the dog. Give me Miami of Ohio plus 4.5 here. Saturday, December 27th, 4:45 p.m. Central Time, the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl. This one in Albuquerque, New Mexico. North Texas and San Diego State. This one's on ESPN. North Texas, a 3 to 3.5 point favorite, depending on the book. Total of 55.5 on this, and who knows what this is going to look like. San Diego State, I think we know what we can expect from those guys, but North Texas, you got a bunch of injuries with the running back Hawkins, linebacker Witter, the backup running back McGill. He hadn't played since week 8. Wide receiver Evans. And then you've got the potential opt-outs. Of course, the coach is gone. Eric Morris took the job at Oklahoma State. Neil Brown, former Troy coach, former West Virginia coach, he is going to be the new guy. But, the quarterback, Drew Mestemaker, is going to be in the portal. He's going to go somewhere big. It might be with Morris over to Oklahoma State. Who knows? But we know in the portal we've got Jaden Williams and we've got Drew Mestemaker. Running back Caleb Hawkins could sit out. The wide receivers Young and Coleman could sit out. Are they going to be as productive? Maybe not. And how many good defenses did North Texas actually play? And on top of that, how many good passing attacks did San Diego State really play this year? The one team that throws the ball a lot, Hawaii, absolutely ripped them apart. So this is a weird matchup to try and figure out. San Diego State, potential opt-outs here. They've got the edge, Trey White. They've got the linebacker, Chambliss, the cornerback, Johnson. Johnson is going to be drafted. Chambliss and White both could follow the defensive coordinator over to Nebraska. We'll see what that looks like. Rob Barrett, the defense coordinator, yes, he's going to Nebraska, so he is not going to be here. The passing game coordinator, Demetrius Sumler, is going to serve as the interim DC for the bowl game. That's weird. I'm not used to the passing game coordinator taking over as defensive coordinator, but alas, if you're a good coach, you're a good coach, and it is what it is. Transfer portal, you've got the defensive end, Beatty, and the edge, Salvati. Both of those are backups. My guess is they'll probably play. Who knows? I don't think you've got guys missing on defense for San Diego State. You got guys missing on offense for North Texas. So the two strengths of these two teams, North Texas is number 5 in the country in PPA per drive on offense. San Diego State is number 3 in the country in PPA allowed on defense. Who knows what that's going to mean? My projected stat spread has North Texas by almost 4 points. My power rating has North Texas minus 4.8. And over the last 4 weeks, I would have North Texas favored by 17.58. But if you don't have Mestemaker, if you don't have these wide receivers, Morris is not calling the plays, what is this North Texas team going to actually look like? San Diego State, massive advantage on special teams. They're number 1 versus North Texas, number 62. North Texas's defense, number 98 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. San Diego State's offense, number 97. San Diego State can run the football, and they are going to run it a lot here. They run it almost 63% of the time. Well, teams run the ball almost 60% of the time on North Texas. And that's wild because typically North Texas has pretty big leads. Now, they have played Army and Navy this year, and Rice. So 3 triple option teams. That's obviously going to skew the numbers quite a bit. But, you know, you're looking at a pace battle here. North Texas, number 19 in pace of play. San Diego State, number 112. On the other side, North Texas is number 2 in points per scoring opportunity. San Diego State's defense is number 2 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. But again, defensive coordinator for the best defense on the field is gone. The play caller and the head coach and potentially the quarterback and whatnot gone on the other side. I think San Diego State is going to be able to run the ball quite a bit here, and I think they'll be able to keep the ball away from North Texas. And this offense is kind of predicated on reps, right? You got to be real good. You got to have a lot of chemistry. I mean, we were talking about 4 wide receivers potentially gone for North Texas, and the quarterback may not play. At that point, I can't go with the favorite, even though I don't know what to expect from San Diego State's defense. Both of these teams outside the top 115 in current strength of schedule, which is wild. But I'm not expecting a whole lot from this ball game. Like, I mean, the total is it was 56.5. It's down to 55.5, and I would expect an under to hit. I've got a projected total of 50 on this. I think that San Diego State's going to hold on to the ball for a while. I think they're going to be able to run it, and I would expect not a lot of points. And in that situation, if I'm getting more than a field goal, I'm going dog. So give me San Diego State plus 3.5. I will go with the team that is keeping their head coach. Saturday, December 27th, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. This one is on ABC in Jacksonville, Florida. Virginia against Missouri. Missouri is 6.5 to 7-point favorite, total of 48.5 on this one. Let's go through some of the transfer portal stuff. The starting cornerback, Prevard, for Virginia. He's in the portal. Don't know what that means as far as him sitting out. Virginia potential opt-outs. You got the running back Taylor, quarterback Chandler Morris, defensive end Kamick, safeties Cleary and Neal. And then you've got the injuries, right? The linebacker Robinson, he's out for the year. Wide receiver Trell Harris, he left the ACC title game with an injury. And then you got the right guard Wigginton as well. Missouri transfer portal, the wide receiver Josh Manning, he had 318 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then you've got a slew of potential opt-outs. Left tackle Green, right tackle Trost, center Tollison, the defensive ends Young and Wilson the second, Kevin Coleman the wide receiver, tight end Brett Norfleet, linebacker Josiah Trotter, defensive tackle Chris McClellan, the quarterback Bo Pribula, and the safety Jalen Catalon. I would not expect a ton of them to opt out. You look at Missouri's record, they are 8-4, probably like to get to a 9th win. Who knows? But I don't think motivation is going to be an issue for either one of these teams. My projected stat spread has Missouri minus 8.82. My power rating has Missouri minus 6. My last 4 weeks has Missouri minus 6.82. And some of these numbers are – Missouri is number 18 in PPA margin, and that's even with the quarterback Pribula missing a couple of games, 3 games, whatever it was, in the middle of the year. And then he came back and looked fantastic against Arkansas. They did a fantastic job in that finale. Virginia, I mean, what do you do when you get your heart ripped out like that? I mean, they really should be in the playoff right now, and you lose the ACC championship game to a 7-5 Duke team that probably shouldn't have been there. I hate to use those kind of words, but, I mean, you get the point. So looking at this, Missouri is the better overall team. Virginia better on special teams, but as far as overall talent rank, Missouri is a top 20 unit. Virginia number 66, but Virginia did a good job of getting a lot of older players in the portal that really worked together, and they played a significantly easier schedule than Missouri. Virginia number 79 in current strength of schedule. Missouri number 26. Missouri on offense can run the football, and Virginia has been good at stopping the run, but not great. Number 46 in rushing success, allowed number 45 in PPA allowed per rush. They are better against the pass, I think. But, again, who have you played that can really take advantage of you? Points per scoring opportunity, Missouri number 42 in finishing drives, Virginia number 25 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. So, Virginia pretty good at keeping teams out of the end zone. But, I don't feel great about it because I know what their competition looked like, and Duke didn't seem to have trouble scoring. So, Missouri's defense, probably the best unit on the field, number 10 in PPA allowed per drive. Virginia's offense, number 53. And then, of course, we don't know exactly what the offense is going to look like for Virginia, but even still, Missouri really good against the pass, number 8 in PPA allowed per pass. Virginia is number 76. Virginia better at running the football than they are at throwing it, but they are number 40 in yards per rush. Missouri is number 17. They are number 27 in PPA per rush. Missouri's defense is number 43 there, but Missouri number 19 in rushing success allowed, number 19 in rushing explosiveness allowed. Virginia is number 61 and number 80 in those two metrics, so I wouldn't expect a ton. Virginia is number 70 in points per scoring opportunity. Missouri's defense, number 65 in points allowed per scoring opportunity. So, it makes sense. They're number 41 in defensive red zone touchdown rate allowed. Yeah, I feel it. Virginia is number 99 in offensive red zone touchdown rate. You look at 5 factors. These teams are 27th and 28th, but when you factor in the talent, of course, Missouri jumps up to number 14, Virginia number 48. In bowl games, Virginia has not been to a bowl game since 2020. Missouri has, and they are 3-1 against the spread in those bowl games, plus 3.9, so they play well above average in those. I'm going with the favorite. The best number I can get right now is a 6.5. I think Missouri shows up in a big way here. All of this could change because we are talking about this on December 16th now. If Eli Drinkwitz were to get the Michigan job, something along those lines, maybe I would change my tune. But as it sits currently, so long as, even if there's a few opt-outs and whatnot, I still think Missouri is a significantly better team than Virginia. I'm going to take the favorite. Give me the Tigers, minus 6.5. The Kinder's Texas Bowl, Saturday, December 27th, 8:15 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. LSU and Houston playing in Houston, Texas. That's right, this one at NRG Stadium, not at the Houston, their official field, which I forget the name of. Shame on me. Houston is a 2.5 to 3-point favorite, total of 41.5 on this, and kind of shocked at this, honestly, that Houston would be favored here, but the number has come down. Houston was a 3.5-point favorite at open, and there are, potential opt-outs and whatnot. There's some injuries and whatnot for LSU, but this is still a significantly more talented roster than what Houston is bringing to the fight. LSU number 5 in overall team talent per on 3. Houston is number 54. LSU better at special teams, number 60. Houston number 96. Houston's offense number 108. So even with Connor Wigman there, they've not been great. Number 123 in passing success rate, but they are number 45 in PPA per pass. Part of that has to do with them being explosive in the passing game, number 63 in passing explosiveness. Well, LSU is number 51. LSU's defense is good, and Blake Baker is hanging around. He's still going to be there. So who knows what that means. LSU, the transfer portal, their defensive tackle, Ahmad Bro. Yeah, that's Breaux. 274 snaps this year. He is in the portal. Has not said that he's not playing, but who knows? LSU opt-outs, the cornerback Delaney, potential first-round pick. He has said he is not going to play. Potential opt-outs, safety Halsey, defensive end Peyton, defensive end Pyburn, linebacker Harold Perkins, and then the wide receivers Thomas and Brown, potentially. Then you got some injuries, of course. The quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, he hadn't played since week 11. He is not going to play here. Whit Weeks is not going to play here. That's the linebacker. The center, Braylon Moore, he missed the finale, but he's got a chance to play per the interim coach, Frank Wilson. Then you got the wide receivers, Aaron Anderson, and wide receiver Nick Anderson. Both of them last played in week 11 and 12. Aaron Anderson's status is up in the air. Regardless, Michael Van Buren is going to be the starter on this. For Houston, they're starting center Demetrius Hunter. He left the program on December 8th. He's no longer on the roster. They do have some potential opt-outs, not nearly as many as LSU, but the running back Connors, tight end Tanner Koziol, and the defensive end Walls. Connor Wigman is going to be back, so he should play here. Khalil Loafo, nope, that ain't it. Houston fans, tell me how to pronounce this guy's name. Lafayette. Something like that. He missed the finale. And then the wide receiver, Stephen Johnson, he last played in week 7, so he's not going to play here, I would imagine. So, looking at this, I've already talked some of the numbers. LSU's offense is atrocious at running the football. Houston is pretty good on defense, number 36 in PPA allowed per drive. But you're talking about a huge strength of schedule difference here. I mean, it's a chasm between these two. LSU number 10 in current strength of schedule, Houston number 71. And LSU tends to get up for these games. These guys want to play for Frank Wilson, it appears. At least that's what it sounds like. But LSU, really bad on offense. Just terrible passing it. They throw the ball almost 56% of the time, but number 76 in QBR, number 73 in passing success rate, but they're number 130 in passing explosiveness, number 98 in PPA per pass, number 100 in yards per pass attempt. Houston way better at all of those metrics than LSU is. And even worse than the passing game, the running game for LSU, number 120 in PPA per rush, number 115 in yards per rush, number 118 in rushing success. Houston's defense, number 39, and number 103 in those. I don't expect a lot of offense here. We got a total of, it opened at 41.5. It is still at 41.5, so it's below the key of 42. I'd still probably take an under here. When you look at pace of play, Houston's number 71, LSU's number 111. I think you're going to get some interesting stuff out of these two teams. LSU is just so much more talented. And if Frank Wilson is not having to play against Oklahoma and Texas A&M and Alabama and, I mean, you name it, right? They should be okay. I don't necessarily trust Houston. I like Willie Fritz, but this is just one of those where it's the Jimmies and Joes. I'm going to go with the dog. I can get a 3 here. I will take LSU plus 3 in this matchup.
Stop guessing and start winning. Stochastic provides advanced data and strategies for DFS players and bettors, built by pros who know how to find edges. Click the link in the description and sign up today.
If you've not already, subscribe to the podcast at wherever you get your podcasts. I've swapped over hosts. I'm doing something a little bit different. We're going with Spreaker now. But yeah, I do some audio-only stuff. I talk about the sport more over there. Obviously, here on the YouTube channel, it is all picks, really. I mean, I've made 430 or 40-something picks, whatever it is. But that's what I do on the YouTube channel. I pick games. I give you my analysis on the matchups. It's very predictive over here. We talk about the sport as a whole. Much more general discussion over on the audio pod. So make sure you are subscribed over there and leave a nice 5-star review if you would so kindly. And of course, if you're watching this video instead of listening to the audio, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and jump in the comments. Monday, December 29th, the JLab Birmingham Bowl. And this one is at 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN, Georgia Southern and App State. Now, this is what I'm talking about. If you got a shot to make a matchup that is a rivalry game, why not? Why not go ahead and do that thing? App State probably shouldn't be in a bowl game. They're 5-7, but you had so many teams opt out of bowls and whatnot this year that why not? Let's make the matchup. Let's do it to it. This time, instead of it being in Boone, North Carolina, well, let's bring it down to Birmingham. We're going to have fun with this thing. It's on a Monday in the middle of the day. Sick 'em. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. Okay. A lot of injuries for Georgia Southern. The running back, O.J. Arnold, he missed the finale. The wide receiver, Dalen Cobb, missed the finale. The defensive tackle, Devin Lowe, missed the finale. App State has a bunch of guys in the portal. A.J. Swan, the quarterback, lost his job late in the year. The quarterback, J.J. Cole, he took the starting job late in the year, but he's going to be in the portal as well. The safety, D.J. Burks, wide receiver, Davion Dozier, cornerback, Elijah McAntos, linebacker, Brayshawn Littlejohn, the edge, Thomas Davis, and the offensive tackle, Donnell Nix. App State, if Cole and Swan don't suit up here, which they might, they've only got 2 quarterbacks with experience on the roster. That's freshman Noah Gillen and the senior Billy Wiles, who used to be at Clemson and Southern Miss. App State does have some injuries. The wide receiver Barnes, he didn't play in the last 2 games. The right guard Trent Ramsey has not played since week 8. The tight end Cummings hasn't played since week 9. And the safety Haas, he missed the last 2 games. Georgia Southern won the initial matchup 25-23. That was on the road. And yet, even with Georgia Southern favored here, which they're favored by 4.5, a total of 59.5 on this, that's up from the 3.5 that I had. My projected stat spread actually has App State favored. My power rating has Georgia Southern by 2. My last 4 weeks has Georgia Southern minus 11.31. But again, with these bowl games, you don't know exactly who's going to suit up, who's going to play. Who knows at this point? Georgia Southern not very good at running the football. So even with the running back out, it is what it is. But they can throw it, and App State can't defend the pass at all. Georgia Southern number 24 in passing success rate. App State number 115. That should tell you basically all you need to know there. So Georgia Southern on offense, number 42 in points per scoring opportunity. App State's defense number 113. On the other side, App State, in some games they were able to put up a bunch of points. It's amazing to me that they were not able to put up more than 23 at home on this Georgia Southern defense. Georgia Southern cannot stop the run, but App State is not good at running it. App State number 98 in PPA per rush, Georgia Southern number 134. You don't have a big talent discrepancy between these two. I mean, nothing crazy. App State's better on special teams. As far as pace of play, they're both inside the top 40. App State's number 10, Georgia Southern number 36. The best unit on the field is going to be the Georgia Southern offense. The Eagles are number 54 in offensive success rate. App State is number 94. I don't see a whole lot changing between the first game that these two played and this one. So I'll go ahead and tell you, Georgia Southern better in turnover margin, better in penalties per game. Number 37 in penalties per game to number 96. Number 47 in turnover margin to 71. App State, I think, has motivation because they lost the earlier matchup and they weren't supposed to be in a bowl game, but they're 5-7 and they got there anyway. And you've got a rivalry game here. I just think Georgia Southern is better and they've played better down the stretch. That's the way I'll take it. So, best number I can get is 4.5. Give me Georgia Southern minus 4.5. Tuesday, December 30th, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl down in Shreveport. This one's at 1 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Tech. And Louisiana Tech currently favored by 8.5. That's up from the 7.5 that they were favored to start this thing. Total opened at 51.5. It's down to 50.5. Not opened. It was at 51.5 when I made the sheets. That was the day after the bowls were announced. So that total has come down a little bit. The Chants have fired their head coach, Tim Beck, so the defense coordinator, Jeremiah Johnson, is going to serve as the interim head coach for the bowl game. Let's look at Coastal Carolina thus far. In the transfer portal, their left tackle, Del Grande, he's in the portal. That doesn't mean he's not going to play. As far as injuries go, the quarterback, Samari Collier, missed the final 2 games with a knee injury. The left tackle, Nick Del Grande, missed 2 final games. If he doesn't play, it's going to be because he's injured, not because of being in the portal, I would imagine. The cornerback, Moo Young, the linebacker, Bruce, the safety, Dante Thomas. Tad Hudson will be the quarterback if Collier can't go in this one. Louisiana Tech. In the portal, they've got the quarterback, Evan Bullock, both safeties, Richard and Fields, the linebacker, Mason. Stuckey on Action Network said that he would expect Trey Kukuk, I hope I said that right, to start at the quarterback in the bowl. He started the final 2 games of the season. Blake Baker, the quarterback, got hurt in Week 11. He's out for the year. The linebacker, Fields, he's been out since Week 5. And the right tackle, Bannister, has been out since Week 7. So they have already learned to play without some of these guys, right? The quarterback being out for Louisiana Tech kind of changes some things, but their offense wasn't great anyway. Coastal is number 126 in PPA margin. So how they made a bowl game, I'm not 100% sure. They got to 6-6, but obviously they weren't happy with it because, by God, they fired their coach. The defensive line is not looking great for Louisiana Tech. Number 135 in position group. But, yeah, I mean, you've got a massive talent difference between these two. Number 122 in overall talent rank for Louisiana Tech, number 75 for Coastal. And you got to wonder about motivation here, right? This thing is 7.5. It's up to 8.5. I've got Louisiana Tech favored by 9.84. My power rating has them by 6. My last 4 weeks has Louisiana Tech by 12. But again, without your quarterback, without some of these very important pieces, what exactly does that mean? Louisiana Tech has been fantastic on defense, and Coastal can't run offense on anybody. Coastal is number 61 in points per scoring opportunity. Louisiana Tech's defense is number 17. I still believe that Louisiana Tech is not going to allow a lot of points. And when you start looking at turnover margin, Coastal is number 112 in giveaways per game. Louisiana Tech is number 13 in takeaways per game. So they are some ball hawks. I think they're going to have better strength of schedule. What am I talking about? They're going to have better field position. They, I think, will get some short fields. So even if the offense is not very good, they're still going to be able to run it on Coastal. Interesting spot here for sure. I don't know what the motivation is for Coastal Carolina. And, I mean, they got to go all the way down to Louisiana, where Louisiana Tech should have at least somewhat of a home contingency. Contingency? I don't know if that's the right word. But either way, I think Louisiana Tech's a better football team, even if the quarterback isn't playing, etc. Right? Even with some of these guys that could be out, I still think they're going to be better than what Coastal puts on the field. And Louisiana Tech at home, they are 0-2 in bowl games since 2020, so they would like to get a bowl win here. And Coastal is 1-4 against the spread in bowl games, minus 6.4. So I'm going to expect Louisiana Tech to do good things. They're 7-5 on the season. Probably want to get to that 8th win, and I think that the numbers are moving in the right direction here. Louisiana Tech has played better as of late. Coastal, I don't know what the motivation is for them. So give me Louisiana Tech minus 8.5 in Shreveport. The Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl. That's right, this one at 4:30 p.m. Central Time in Nashville on ESPN. You got the Tennessee Volunteers and the Illinois Fighting Illini. Tennessee is favored by 2.5 to 3 with a total of 60.5 on this. The number has come down a little bit from Tennessee was favored by 5.5. The total of 61.5 has come down to 60.5. Interesting, to say the least. Tennessee fired their defensive coordinator, Tim Banks. They've brought in Jim Knowles. He's not going to be coaching in this. This is interesting. William Inge, who is the linebackers coach, he's going to serve as the interim DC for this game. Illinois head coach Brett Bielema, he believes 6 to 10 players are going to enter the portal after the bowl game, but they are going to be allowed to play. Only one of those is a starter, though. You do have potential opt-outs here. You got the safety Xavier Scott, wide receiver Hank Beatty, tight end Tanner Arkin. Luke Altmaier is going to play in the bowl game. There are a couple of opt-outs already. Linebacker Gabe Jacobs and the offensive lineman J.C. Davis. Those have already opted out. And then, of course, you've got some injuries. The linebacker JoJo Hayden missed the finale, and the safety Matthew Bailey had surgery. He's not going to play. For Tennessee, you've got a little bit of a longer list. Boo Carter's already in the portal. He wasn't playing much anyway. You do have a couple of opt-outs for Tennessee. The wide receiver, Chris Brazel II, he's declared for the draft, and the linebacker, Arion Carter, has declared for the draft. You do have potential opt-outs here with the left tackle, Lance Hurd, defensive end, Josephs, cornerback, Colton Hood, safety, McMurray, and the tight end, Kitzelman, who is also dealing with an injury, probably not going to play. But those are potential guys. As far as injuries, I already mentioned the tight end, but the cornerback, Jermod McCoy, he's been out all year. The cornerback, Ricky Gibson III, out all year. And then, of course, the edge rusher, Jordan Ross, he missed the finale. But I don't think that we were worried about Tennessee's defense anyway, because it is what it is. Number 64 in PPA allowed, number 104 in defensive success rate allowed. That was never going to be a thing. And Illinois has not been good on defense either. So it's a good offense against a good offense and a bad defense against a bad defense. I mean, that's what you're looking at. So the fact that the total has come down is a little surprising. But, you know, with the wide receiver for Tennessee being out, Brazel, or Brazil, or whatever you want to call it. And that's no offense. I just don't remember exactly how you pronounce the name. I've been terrible at that this year. I don't know if you guys are finding it harder to pronounce some of these names, but man, I used to really try. And call me lazy. They're going from team to team. I don't know who's going to be where it's a pandemic. That's what we'll call it. All right, so my projected stat spread has Tennessee by 3.85. My power rating has Tennessee by 3.1. The last 4 weeks, I would have Illinois favored by 1 point. Tennessee got housed at home by Vanderbilt at the end of the year. This ain't the same kind of offense. Tennessee knows about this offense, right? Illinois also knows what to expect from this Tennessee offense. Neither team, I think, is going to be able to stop the other one really all that much. And if anyone was going to be able to, I would trust Tennessee because they got a more talented roster. And I know that talent isn't everything. I know how that works. I know this. However, I just can't unmarry myself from the idea that if you got better football players, you're probably going to win the game. It just is what it is. Illinois is 1-1 against the spread in bowl games since 2020. Tennessee is 2-2 against the spread in bowl games since 2020. Not much you can go on as far as trends are concerned there. Bielema and company did play pretty well last year against South Carolina in the bowl game. You were dealing with a completely different beast here. You know Josh Heupel. I mean, he's going to draw up some crazy stuff. But Barry Lundy might too. So who knows? Tennessee on offense, number 12 in points per scoring opportunity. Illinois' defense is number 121. Tennessee's going to be able to score. On the other side, Illinois, number 28 in points per scoring opportunity. Tennessee's defense, number 112. And yet, Tennessee's defense, better than what Illinois is going to put out there, and their offense is better than Illinois' offense. So, I know that a lot of people want to buy into the Illinois stuff. I mean, both teams are 8-4, and Illinois, let's see, Illinois played a tougher strength of schedule, number 23, Tennessee, number 33. Tennessee has not beat a team with a winning record all year. I think that changes here. I think Tennessee wins the ball game. I got a lot of SEC love here. I really do. It's kind of surprising. I think Tennessee's better. How's that? So Tennessee minus 2.5 is the direction I'm going in this one, especially the fact, I mean, they're going to be in Nashville. It's going to be a mostly orange crowd. Well, it'll be orange anyway, but it's going to be big, go Vols, go Big Orange, whatever it is. And I think that I trust Heupel to be able to put up points a lot more than I trust Illinois. Give me the Vols. Minus 2.5. It has dropped low enough where I feel comfortable with it, but I will take Tennessee to win and cover. The Valero Alamo Bowl. This is the last bowl that we're going to talk about on today's show, and this is a long one. My apologies to you guys for that, but hey, we got a lot of bowl games to discuss for this week. USC and TCU, this one Tuesday, December 30th, 8 p.m. Central Time on ESPN, so much more fitting for the team from the Pacific time zone. USC favored by 5.5 to 6, total of 59.5 on this. USC TCU. USC's reward for going 9-3 and maybe one game out of the playoffs is to go down to San Antonio, down to Texas, to play against TCU. Is what it is. The offensive coordinator for TCU, Kendall Briles, he is left. He has gone to South Carolina. There's a chance that Josh Hoover, the quarterback, follows him there. We haven't heard anything about that as of yet, but Hoover's brother does play baseball, I believe, for the Gamecocks. Sonny Dykes has come out and said that he expects everybody to play. They do have some potential opt-outs. I mentioned Hoover, the quarterback, tight end DJ Rogers, wide receiver Eric McAllister, the safeties Bud Clark and Jamel Johnson, defensive end Paul Oyewale, and then the linebacker Caleb Ilaramzor. There are injuries. Of course, Bud Clark, he missed the final 2 games. The safety Kylan Jackson, he missed the finale. The running back Kavorian Barnes, he hadn't played since week 11. We'll see what happens there. USC, the list is longer and much more up in the air, right? The cornerback Braylon Conley is in the transfer portal. USC does have a couple of opt-outs, or 3 opt-outs. Jacoby Lane, the wide receiver's out. The safety Kamari Ramsey, he's not going to play. And then the tight end Lake McCree, he's not going to play either. There are more potential opt-outs. I would guess that Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver, I would guess that he is not going to play here. The quarterback, Jaden Maeva, he is already re-signed with USC, and he will play. The edge, Anthony Lucas, linebacker Eric Gentry, defensive tackle Keyshawn Silver, cornerback DJ Harvey, and the safety Bishop Fitzgerald, who is also dealing with an injury. As far as other injuries are concerned, left tackle Elijah Page, the wide receiver Wayman Jordan, he hadn't played since week 7, and of course the right guard Alani Noah, he missed the finale. So, you got a lot of different faces when it comes to this. If you didn't have any faces that were missing or whatever, my projected stats spread would be USC minus 7.71. The power rating has USC by almost 8 points, and then my last 4 weeks would have USC minus 14.5. TCU went 8-4 this year, which is a pretty good record. As far as bowl games are concerned, both of these teams are 2-1 against the spread. TCU minus 3, and USC is plus 8 as far as that is concerned against the number in bowl games. USC, more talent, but it's not as lopsided as you would think. TCU number 26, USC number 16 in overall talent rank per on 3. Both teams outside the top 90 in special teams efficiency. That's not great. USC number 7 in offensive success rate. TCU's defense number 58. TCU's offense number 48 in offensive success rate. USC is number 117 in defensive success rate allowed. That ain't great by any stretch. USC, though, as far as PPA allowed per drive, they're number 62 on defense. TCU is number 67. So if you go by predicted points added, USC actually a better defense. When TCU has the ball, number 39 in points per scoring opportunity, USC is number 41. The difference is that USC is number 128 in scoring opportunities allowed per game, and if you haven't kept up, that is when the opponent gets a first down inside the 40-yard line. That is considered a scoring opportunity. So TCU is number 54 in scoring opportunities per game. So I think they're going to be able to move the football here. They'll be able to throw it on USC's defense. USC is number 74 in passing success allowed, number 81 in QBR allowed. TCU is number 25 and number 38 in those metrics. So Josh Hoover, if he plays, should be able to throw the football on USC. On the other side, USC will also be able to throw the football on TCU. TCU number 92 in PPA allowed per pass. USC's offense is number 5. USC number 8 in points per scoring opportunity. TCU's defense number 53, but TCU allows a lot of scoring opportunities per game. This thing is under a touchdown, and I want to take USC. But I also don't know exactly how motivated they're going to be in this game. I mean, you heard the list of opt-outs and potential opt-outs. If they don't have Jacoby Lane, if they don't have Mekhi Lemon, there's still going to be guys for Jaden Maeva to throw to. TCU, I do think, is going to be able to throw the football quite a bit, but we still don't know anything about Josh Hoover and Eric McAllister and whatnot. Again, Sonny Dykes said he expects everybody to play. This is kind of a big spot for both of these, and it's going to be setting the tone going into a big 2026 season for both teams. And while my numbers all say USC, I kind of think that I would go with TCU, especially in San Antonio. But also, I have seen USC just trot out rando guys and put on a clinic in some of these bowl games. I mean, they did it to Louisville just a couple of years ago, or maybe that was last year. No, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Let's go with the numbers. Why not? Why not? I mean, I feel like I should go with TCU being in Texas, but USC, a more difficult strength of schedule. The quarterback is playing for sure. And when it comes to head coaches, I trust Lincoln Riley more than I trust Sonny Dykes. Call it a hunch, but if this thing's under a touchdown, I can get USC minus 5.5. I'll go with the favorite. Give me the Trojans, minus 5.5 here. All right, we had 16 games to discuss, 16 bowl games to discuss for this week, December 24th through December 30th. Let's recap it. Let's see. Hawaii plus 2.5. Central Michigan plus 10.5. Minnesota minus 2.5. UTSA minus 8.5. East Carolina plus 7.5. Clemson minus 3.5. Army minus 8.5. BYU minus 4.5. Miami plus 4.5. San Diego State plus 3.5. Missouri minus 6.5. LSU plus 3. Georgia Southern minus 4.5. Louisiana Tech minus 8.5. Tennessee minus 2.5. And USC minus 5.5. That is a lot of favorites. What could possibly go wrong, right? Just ridiculous. Bowl games these days, much better for live bettors. Just the way it goes. You can tell pretty early which team wants to be there and which one doesn't. And once you figure that out, once you see where the motivation lies, that's all she wrote. Very rarely does it go the opposite direction in some of these games. All right. Of course, make sure you are subscribed to the audio podcast. If you would so kindly, leave a nice 5-star review over there, whatever you are listening to. We've moved over to a new host. We're going to try and take this more seriously as we move into the off season. So go ahead and subscribe over there if you would so kindly. This is a one-man show. So if you want to support, you can do that. BuyMeACoffee.com/winningcures. There's a link in the description for that, or you can just go to bettingcfb.com. It's $5 a month, $50 for the year, and I give you bonus content. That's the way it works. I would certainly appreciate your support over there. There's a lot of you that have already signed up, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for helping out the show, for doing this thing, because, my God, I spend a lot of time with it. A lot of time. That's the way it goes. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Of course, like the video, and jump in the comments. Let me know your picks on these. If there's anything that I have missed, let me know once you hear something. If you hear rumors, etc., I would love to hear that as well. I want to get some advance notice on some of these games as early as we can. Any kind of information would be welcome. So, yes, jump in the comments and share the show. Tell your friends about it. All that good stuff. We do this every year. I've been doing this. Winning Cures Everything has been around since 2016, the podcast version. The YouTube started in 2018. We've been at this for a while. This year I went fully independent. Had a blast. Had an absolute blast. We will continue on through the national championship game, and then we're going to start talking about the sport in general. College football is what we do. God, I love this sport. All right, with that said, you guys are fantastic. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless college football, and hopefully all of your tickets cash this week.
Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Subscribe, leave a review or comment, follow @GaryWCE on X, and check out the web store,